Assalamualaikum and good afternoon. I wish to our beloved lecturer, Madam Suhailati and fellow friends. In this second seminar, we would like to discuss on topic sustainability reporting and qualitative consideration in capital expenditure decision. Before I proceed with the presentation, I would like to introduce our group members. My name is Nur Ain binti Muhammad Asri, and I have Muhammad Faiz bin Zamri, Nora Fifi binti Cik Ali Elias Bahari, and Wan Muhammad Amirul bin Wan Arif together with me to present on this topic. I hope that everyone can enjoy our presentation. Capital expenditures. Capital expenditures consist of the fund that companies use to purchase major physical goods or services that the company will use for more than 1 year in order to improve its value or increase its long-term productivity. It is also known as capital expenses. Capital expenditures can include plant and equipment purchases, building expansion and improvements, warehouse purchases, hardware purchases such as computers, and purchase of business vehicles to transport goods. The capital expenditure decision is the process of making decisions regarding investments in fixed assets which are not meant for sale, such as land, building and plant and machinery, and etc. Thus, it refers to long-term planning for proposed capital expenditures and includes raising of long-term funds and their utilization. The key functions of this finance manager is selections of the most profitable project for investment. This task is very crucial because any action taken by the manager in this area affects the working and profitability of the firm for many years to come. The capital expenditure decisions have the following features. They involve large amounts of funds. They involve greater amount of risk. Capital expenditure decisions are irreversible. Cash outflows and inflows occur at different points of time. Capital expenditure decisions involve acquisitions of assets that have a long lifespan and which provide benefits spread over a long period of time. The nature of capital expenditure decisions can be explained in brief as under. Capital expenditure decisions involve large amounts of funds. Such decisions have its effect over a long span of time. Capital expenditure decisions, once approved, represent long-term investment that cannot be reversed or withdrawn at any time. Withdrawal or reversal of such decision may lead to considerable financial losses to the firm. Preparations of capital expenditure budget involve forecasting of cash inflows over several years for evaluating the profitability of projects. Capital expenditure decision helps protect the interests of the shareholders as well as of the firm because it avoids overinvestment and underinvestment in fixed assets. Purpose of capital expenditure decisions is to recognize as well as prioritize capital investments on the basis of maximum returns to the business. It is also considered as a managerial tool required for efficient management of collected capital of the firm.
Okay, now I will proceed with sustainability reporting. First, let's look at the definition of sustainability reporting. A sustainability report is a report published by a company or organization about the economic, environmental, and social impacts caused by its everyday activities. In other words, a sustainability report also presents the organization's values and governance model, and it also demonstrates the link between its strategy and its commitment to a sustainable global economy. Besides, sustainability reporting can help organizations to measure, understand, and communicate their economic, environmental, social, and governance performance, and then set goals and manage change more effectively. A sustainability report is the key platform for communicating sustainability performance and impacts, whether positive or negative. Okay, next, let's look at the importance of sustainability reporting. The first one is enhancing risk management. Sustainability reporting may serve as a catalyst to prompt organizations to assess the risks that may impact their businesses. Managing risk can help in reducing the cost of capital through a lower risk profile. There is a tendency for investors to favor organizations which demonstrate good risk management. This, in turn, can enhance corporate value and diminish risk, resulting in a lower cost of capital. This is because investors add risk premiums to the cost of capital for firms with questionable environmental and social practices. Next is to promote innovation and attracting new customers, which means that as sustainability considerations increase, an organization that recognizes the opportunities and has the capacity to innovate will drive growth through new products, services, and customers. The introduction of sustainability-driven products and services can carve out a niche market for the organization. One of the examples of driving business growth through sustainable products and services is General Electric's Ecomagination. Okay, the next one is to maintain a license to operate. A license to operate, also known as social license to operate, which it refers to implicit community approval of an organization's business operations. It does not refer to a legal or regulatory license to operate. Organizations are increasingly recognizing the link between ongoing business success and their license to operate, especially in the natural resources sector, for example, mining, where the concept has been central for some years. A license to operate can help organizations realize opportunities. For example, the local community co-managing a project with the organization and manage risk to their business. Okay, next is to improve productivity and cost optimization. When sustainability efforts such as employee engagement programs or health and safety programs go beyond basic compliance with labor standards, for example, incorporating other benefits, an organization can expect to improve its attractiveness to recruit and retain top talent and enhance employee and supplier productivity. This can lead to longer-term benefits such as customer attraction, improved reputation, stronger operating margins, and optimized capital expenditure. If sustainability efforts fail, such as in relation to health and safety, the impacts may include interruption in production, investigations by relevant government agencies, fines, and negative publicity. Further, considering sustainability risks and opportunities may lead to cost efficiencies. Next is to enhance brand value and reputation. It is broadly accepted that brand and reputation can create value by generating demand and securing future earnings for organizations. Issues such as sourcing of raw materials, energy and water usage, and human rights are increasingly impacting organizational brand and reputation. Therefore, organization will need to identify associated risks and opportunities and assess their impacts. The last one is to secure capital. Traditionally, investors have looked at an organization's financial performance to drive their decisions. However, it is fast becoming the norm for investors to evaluate factors alongside financial data when determining their investments. In Malaysia, local investors are beginning to consider sustainability factors in their decision-making processes. Given the increasing focus by investors, improving sustainability performance and disclosures may provide organizations increased access to capital locally and globally.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Maf651 I will explain to you the next topic of the presentation. Okay, what to disclose in the report. I'm sure that most of you have accounted with a sustainability report of some companies, and you realize that when you read the report, there's no calculation or equation involved in the report. When you read, it's only consists of statements. I'm sure that when companies come up with such report, it means that it is important or significant to the company, so they need to come up with a report. So how to prepare the sustainability report for the companies to issue to the public? Of course, they need to follow some framework that have been produced by the authority. So Bursa Malaysia have issued some guidance to produce this kind of report. So narrative statements. So sustainability report is a narrative statement of its management of material economic, environmental and social risks and opportunities related to real estate investment, listed issuers management, the governance structure to manage the economic, environmental, social risks and opportunities, the scope of the sustainability and the basis of the scope. So what you need to disclose in the statement is this information: the view from the real estate investment, listed issuers management, and apart from that, they need to have some governance structure on how they manage the economic, environmental, social risks and opportunities. And also they need to have the scope of their own sustainability and what is the basis of their scope. Move to the second point of the topic, the criteria of the sustainability matters. So what is the criteria that need to be for them to be considered as significant to the company, and also why is it so important? So it is because reflect the listed significant economic, environmental and social impact. So it means that they have some significant impact to the companies in terms of economic, environmental and social impact, or they have substantively influence the assessment and decision of the stakeholders. Apart from that, how do they manage the sustainability matters? Policies, measure or action taken to deal with these matters, indicators relevant to these sustainability matters, which demonstrate on how the listed issuer has performed in managing those matters. The first point is policies. They need to have some the consistent policies in their own management or company. This policy is to ensure that they have the right path, or they have some rules or law they need to obey in order for them to reduce or eliminate the impact that can cause to the company. The second is measure or action taken to deal with these matters. They need to take some action or measure to deal with these matters in order to avoid some avoid with some severe impact to the companies. So it is important for them to take action. The third one is the indicators relevant to these sustainability matters, which demonstrate on how the listed issuer perform in managing those matters. Lastly, the report must be balanced, comparable, and meaningful. So what I just said is that it's based on the guidance from the Bursa Malaysia guidance that has been issued before. So you can get it on the internet from Bursa Malaysia and download from the website. Okay, next slide is more on what Bursa Malaysia has mentioned regarding the sustainability report. Basically, it is a guidance from Bursa Malaysia on how the company can prepare their own sustainability report. So in this guidance, the companies need to comply with some requirement needed by the Bursa Malaysia before the companies can issue their own sustainability report to the public. This information I get directly from website of Bursa Malaysia. Maybe later you can read this requirement on our slides for your own reference, or you can maybe download directly from the website of Bursa Malaysia if you want to read the full guidance of how to prepare the sustainability report for companies. So there are a lot of requirement needed by the Bursa Malaysia. Okay, that's all from me. I will pass it to the next presenter. Thank you.
What is qualitative consideration? It is a decision inputs that are either hard or impossible to express in numbers and important for a company to strategize. So qualitative consideration in capital investment analysis are very important in decision-making process. It is strategic investment are tools those are designed to affect a company's long-term ability to generate profit. So understanding the qualitative factors that go into the decision-making process will help the management accountant to work out their thinking process and make a better investment decision. So quantitative consideration also the crucial part that companies should not take it trivial. Many organizations supplement traditional performance measure with non-financial performance measure. So qualitative consideration provides valuable data for use in the design of the product, including data about user needs, behavior patterns, and use cases. So there are a few considerations that you need to know, which is the first one is the social trends, the second one is the strategic factors, the third one is the corporate culture, and the fourth one is products or service quality. Besides that, qualitative consideration give benefit to the organization to strike the good future financial performance. So in this case, management accountant may measure product quality and customer satisfaction as they believe that high performance in this area will flow through to improve financial performance. Like I said in the previous slide, for the social trends, the consumer preference, which is the consumers' growing concerns about protecting the environment, it becomes a trend because most of the industries knows that they need to take into consideration on what the consumers think about their business, and most of them now is being is concerned considered is concerned about the environment. So we need to take into consideration on how the factory or how the manufacturing of your company will affect the environment to ensure that the consumer is satisfied with the production. Next is employee morale. A companies want to create a better work environment for their employees. So basically, a company need to take into consideration on how they need to take care of the quality of and the benefit for the employee, and they need to know how to protect their employee, because if they did not take good care of their employee, it might affect the business of their companies. Next is the strategic factors. So the first thing about the strategic factors is the location. The area is growing and someday it will be the ideal location for a new store. So that's the idea for the perfect location. At first you need to know how the cost of the location that you will set up your factory, and you need to be careful, you need to take into consideration on how the area or the location uh, will growing in the next year. So the second is the price. So if you want to sell at affordable price which is lower than competitors, because all the consumer or the buyer, they will look for a lower price, and that's you need to take into consideration. So if you want to make the lower price, you need to make a lower cost. So the next one is the target market. So to whom the product will be sold. So you need to take into consideration what is your target market, because you can't sell a thing or a product without have a target market, because at the end of the day you need to know your target market, because without a target market you don't know who to sell and what to sell to your final user or the consumer. Next one is corporate culture. You need to know how hard its employee desire to work and how it deals with failure all matter, because you need to know your employee on how high their willingness to work for your company, and how hard they desire to work, and how they want to deal with the failure that they may face in the future. So you should not take it slightly, because if you for example, if your employees might fail or might facing failure, then you need to know how they could cope and could deal with the failure, because it might affect your companies. The next one is finding out how employees approach their work, how they interact and solve problems, and what motivates them to improve. You as a leader or as a corporate culture, the corporate culture is that you need to know how your employees approach each other about their work, and how they interact with their employees and their colleagues, and how they tend to solve the problems, and what motivate them to improve. For example, what motivate them to improve, that the bonus that your company might give to them at the end of the year if they improve their performance, or how they want to solve the problems, that they did not leave their work or problems to the management to solve it, because that's how we work. We need to work in a team, and your employees need to know how they will solve the problems. Some corporations excel at providing quality at a premium price because the employee experience, and particular individuals who take pride in their work. Their employees know how valuable their work and how valuable their products. That's why they know how to give the best and to deliver the best, to ensure that the final products could be provide in quality at a premium price. Because as you know, if your employees don't know how to give their best, it might increase the cost of manufacturing or the cost of production. So next one is think twice before adding branches, since it might affect the way of communication and the flow of information. So if you want to add the branches or the the branches of your company, you need to know how your employees will communicate and how the management will communicate and the information will flow. Because if you fail to do that, the information might be mislead, and your employees might get the misinformation, and it will affect your company and the reputation of your company and the process of your company to provide a good quality and a good product. So the next one is product or service quality. As we know, cheaper components in product may create an overall impression of reduced quality, which may lead customers to buy fewer products. So if you put yourself as a consumer, or if you put yourself as a buyer, you want the best quality for your product or the product that you want to buy. So if you know that the quality of the product is lower and not achieve your expectations, so you will not buy the products. So that's why it will they will the customers will buy fewer products, and your production or your sales might be reduced. Next one is proper branding require high expenditure level to establish and maintain an aura of quality, which a purely quantitative analysis might not justify. Because at the end of the day, you need to have a proper branding for your products or services, because you need to maintain the aura and the quality of your product, because all the peoples or all the products need to have a good branding, because the customer know how they want to buy and what they want to buy with the proper branding and with the good branding. We know that nowadays, if you have a good communication or good branding skills or good branding for your company or product, you will excel in the business, because the quality of the product is based on how you want to market your product and how you branding your product. So it might be next one is might be impossible it might be possible that the business has no experience in producing a particular product, and its prior experience in producing other products cannot be applied. So for a business to produce a product or a certain product, a particular product, they need to have an experience. But if they don't have the experience, they cannot apply on how they want to they cannot apply on the good quality of service. But if you know how to take care of your quality of your products or your services, you might be deliver or produce a good quality of products.
In making capital expenditure decision, understanding the qualitative factors that go into the decision-making process will help management to work out the thinking process and make a better investment decision. It can be the deciding point in whether to engage in a certain activity. Besides, qualitative consideration is an addition to quantitative consideration in order to make a better decision. It is because qualitative and quantitative consideration may give differences in their input. Qualitative and quantitative analysis may use information about the different characteristics. For example, if manager want to analyze how positively customers view one product, manager might interview a cross-section of the customer and ask for feedback. This qualitative information is hard to express as numbers and monetary terms. Last but not least, qualitative considerations in capital expenditure analysis are very important in decision-making process. It is because it affects a company's long-term ability to generate profit. That's all from us. Thank you.